interesting video. If you want to link whatever you want me to react to, feel free to join discord.gg/Tectone and post your videos in the Daily Scramble. It's completely free. I try to react to as many as I possibly can. Obviously, you can see that I have a backlog of things that I haven't reacted yet, but we're going to get there one day. I'm trying my best, and I hope that's good enough for you. The exact moment host realized leftist is a monster. So this is David Rubin of the Rubin Report.
Do you actually mean that? Or is that a rhetorical move or like a solidarity signal?
You gave me a perfect segue to the next thing that I wanted to hit on, which is that this guy, Hasan Piker, who...
Of course it's about Hasan, dude. I don't know how people haven't already realized this shit. You have to be retarded to not understand that Hasan is a inhuman monster piece of shit. And dude, when Valkyrie and Hasan break up, I cannot wait to hear about Valkyrie's experience. That is gonna be fun. Ooh, that is gonna be a blast.
Believe it or not, I worked with at the Young Turks many lifetimes ago. He is one of the worst human beings I have ever come across.
True.
He is a multi-millionaire communist, quasi-Islamist who is telling his kids, and it's kids that are watching him on Twitch, literally how to build suicide drones, that 9/11 was good, that Hamas is good.
And the problem is because when you describe Hasan, it sounds so far-fetched that people will just assume that you're lying. Everything he just said is real. But he said, like, dude, it literally, in Nux Talk, you made a great comment where if you were to write a Disney character that said and did and acted the exact way Hasan does, Disney would throw it out saying it's unrealistic, nobody's that evil. So that's very fitting. Because it sounds fake. It literally sounds fake.
That he has nothing, he walked the streets of China and said he has nothing to be proud of as an American. He went on one of these Obama bro podcasts, and here he is saying that Hamas is better than Israel. And actually, he would vote for Hamas.
When you say Hamas is 1,000 times better, do you actually mean that? Or is that a rhetorical move or like a solidarity signal? Like what?
I mean, it's all of the above. I do mean it. I think it's a rhetorical move because it frustrates a lot of people. I've also said I'm a harm reduction voter. I'm a lesser.
I want you to really hear what he is that he's saying and hear that Hasan, without any clipping, without any cut context, says, I agree with that statement.
It's better. Do you actually mean that? Or is that a rhetorical move or like a solidarity signal? Like what?
I mean, it's all of the above. I do mean it. I think it's a rhetorical move because it frustrates a lot of people. I've also said I'm a harm reduction voter. I'm a lesser evil voter, and therefore I would vote for Hamas over Israel every single time.
So Hasan said that he would vote for Hamas over Donald Trump, over Israel in every single scenario. A quite literal terrorist organization. And he stands on that like it's based. The guy is out of his fucking mind.
Katie, I mean... What?
I go from laughing to like, this is super dangerous. I mean, this guy is on the record multiple times, dozens of times, calling for murder of people he disagrees with politically.
I think that if you are a Twitch streamer, a live streamer, a content creator, and you are encouraging your audience to kill people, you're giving them instructions on how to do it, and you stand on business when questioned about it, I believe you should lose your platform and I believe you should be jailed. I don't think freedom of speech should cover that. I think it is far too dangerous for content creators to weaponize their audience for murder and face zero repercussions, considering now that there have been 3 assassinations as well as many injuries of people who say they did it because they support Hasan. And then Hasan claims they're false flaggers. Where's the accountability? Where's the repercussions? Where's the punishment? Nowhere. And until there's repercussions, this will continue to happen.
Just like a good Hamas supporter would do.
Yeah, blood in the streets, yeah.
And yet Democrats are campaigning with him for the midterm elections. This is not some guy who's on the far fringes of the internet. He is actively working with the Democratic Party on the campaign trail. And it just goes to show how far the left has gone to solidify this communist Islamist partnership that they're using.
They are out of their fucking mind. And that's the reason why channels like mine are still succeeding, because I don't need to convince you of any political agenda. I don't need to convince my chat of anything. you can use your eyes and see exactly what it is of which I'm referring to with no spin, with no political pushing whatsoever. I'm saying, hey, here's what they're hiding from you. You can watch it with your own eyes. And then you say, damn, my eyeballs work great. Wow, that's fucked up. I can't believe people are actually doing this. And that's the best type of connection. That's the best type of how you get people to listen and kind of rally behind your cause, which is, I would like to take my country back, and I would like these bad actors to be punished severely. And it's really that simple.
This anti-Americanism that they are not just shying away from, but fully endorsing and embracing. I mean, it's wild. He was at Yale University, I believe it was on Tuesday, talking about, again, which he said before, that the fall of the communist USSR was one of the worst things that's ever happened to the country. I mean, it's absolutely crazy that the Democrats are endorsing this guy.
So, Mikhail, for those of us that don't want the Democrats to be in power or win the midterms or whatever, we should sort of want them to attach.
Are you noticing how all the Republicans just look like normal people and all the leftists just look like deranged trans freaks? Are we noticing that? Because being normal is what we're fighting against. And that's why this country, and that's why this world, this isn't just America, by the way, guys. This is everywhere. Even Japan are tired of these fucking retards. It's just normal people trying to be normal. And then these saying, no, you're going to change everything about your world and pander to the 0.1%.
Themselves to this guy, right? Because at some point, if you push the average person far enough with the rhetoric, for example, I'd vote for Hamas, who put aside Jews in Israel, they killed 47 Americans.
Right.
It might actually backfire.
For sure, yeah. I mean, you can't go around saying that I'm
going to be real. The normal American isn't going to give a fuck the atrocities that happened to Israel. If you want to connect to an American audience, then talk about what they did to Americans. Because the majority of people, I'm going to be real, they don't give a fuck about Israel. They don't give a fuck about Iran. And here's the best part. They don't need to at all. If you want to convince Americans on the things they should do, talk about how it affects Americans. Okay? You have to tie it in to how it's affecting the world, not specific parts of the world they don't care about.
going to vote for a terrorist organization because I'm a, what did he say? Safety voter. I care about safety, or however he worded it. Yeah. It's obviously ridiculous to the average person, to the normal person who's not in this, this swamp that we mentioned in the first section.
Specifically conservative Americans. Sure, you might get a couple of leftists to feel bad for what's happening in Africa. The normal American doesn't give a fuck and would rather work on their country over another country first. You want to know why? Because that's where we're at. Obviously, we have to take care of ourselves before we can take care of other people. Because if we prioritize other nations before our own, then we're going to be living in the shitholes. And I'll be real, nobody wants to live in a shithole.
Most people are going to see this and be immediately repulsed. They're going to want to vomit.
Of course.
And so I'm not sure how this is in any way different than what they've done in the past, which is what led to them losing the last election. They were saying crazy stuff under Biden. They were doing crazy stuff under Biden. Kamala Harris was saying crazy stuff.
Not only was it under Biden, it was in front of Biden, but Sleepy Joe was just asleep at the wheel, so nobody did anything about these retards. And that's how they got out of control. People say, oh, I like Biden because he didn't do anything. Yeah, and that's why the rhetoric has gone psychotic, because nobody was correcting it.
And people rejected it.
Guys, I'm going to say something a bit controversial. I would rather have Donald Trump again than ever go back to Biden, or Obama for that matter. And I don't give a fuck what you think. I really don't. I really don't. I would prefer 10 more years of Trump. And I think it's a shame that he can't be reelected. And that's fine, because our Constitution says that he can't be. And I'm totally cool with that. But I do not. People were praising Biden for his work. What work? He fell asleep and he did nothing. It's pathetic.
Rejected this woke mind virus because of it, and Donald Trump won. And I don't know why they're running the same op again. It's almost worse this time. This is worse.
It seems like it's going to its final form, which is the morphing into Islamism or jihadism or whatever you want to call it. But I want to show you this.
We need a leader of our country that people are fucking afraid of, not one that makes our country look like a joke. We need someone that the other people of other nations with bombs, with nukes, are horrified to fuck with.
So I don't know if you guys saw this. This is absolutely wild. So the New York Times, it is pure propaganda that would make Pravda red in the face. So I think it was the day before that piece that we just showed you there where he sat down with the Obama bro, this Hasan Piker guy. There was a piece written by Ezra Klein, who's just kind of one of these limp-wristed Democrat, whatever. He wrote, and it was an op-ed piece, but he wrote, the headline is Hasan Piker is not the enemy. Then that piece comes out, that interview.
And you want to know why these things come out? Is because Hasan Piker pays people to make puff pieces for him. It's the same thing with Mizkif. Mizkif is currently, and I shit you not, Miz, and I dare you to call me a liar. Mizkif is currently offering people $10,000 to multiple people to make puff pieces for him on the internet so he can get his career back. It's illegitimate astroturfing. It's all paid propaganda. And that's all these people do. You want to know why there's so many clips about Mizkif? Because he's paying people to post it. Do you want to know why people are now publicly having his back? Because he's paying people to do so. I dare you to call me a liar, by the way, Miz. You know I'm right. And it's absurd. It's absurd how there's nothing truthful in this world anymore. It is quite literally just forced paid propaganda.
Comes out where he says he would vote.
And people don't see this. They say, well, I don't know. Bro, open your eyes.
For Hamas. And then they subtly and quietly change the headline to, this is why there's no liberal Joe Rogan. I mean, Katie, to me, that is the perfect example of everything. It's the perfect example of the media lying. It's the perfect example of running cover for these crazy left.
And that's the worst thing, where news sources can get away with lying. And that is such a misuse of trust of its citizens, to where news channels will lie to their people who aren't smart enough to differentiate and solve those things for themselves. Because a lot of people see news as unbiased sources, and it sucks, but nothing's unbiased, and you really have to do your own work. But I don't believe that news should be allowed to push their own lies publicly. I think that's insane. Now, they can pick and choose what they want to cover, but to take stories and misrepresent them, I believe in something called journalistic integrity, and actually having to tell the truth and reporting on what is actually happening and having informed people.
This, like, it shows you the radicalness of their positions. It's just got a little bit of everything.
So there's two things that are happening here. There's like the camp that are true believers, like the Hasan Piker wing, where they truly believe that Hamas is better and that the communism is better than capitalism. They're the true believers. But when it comes to like Ezra Klein, they're trying to kind of say, and the Obama bros, and they did this in this podcast, they try to kind of say, like, you don't really mean that, right? Like, you're just being...
Right. Some guy in chat just said, just imagine if liar, liar, pants on fire was true. Then all of them would have burnt bottoms and their wieners would be burned off. Then they wouldn't be lying anymore. Yeah. Then what? Good point, chatter.
You're exaggerating. Like, they try to kind of sanitize it and make it palpable for the average person. And then the people are like, Hasan Piker's like, no, like, I actually believe in terrorism. And they don't know what to do with it. So then they have to, like, change their position. They're kind of like, oh my God, you know? So there's the denial people, the delusional people, and then the true believers who are taking over the party.
Great video. And I want to let you guys know what these people do is they tell their lies and they convince themselves to believe their own lies they made up in their head, and it drives them insane. And then they make it everybody else's problem. Isn't that fun? No, not really.